stories tonight in Y News. The Office for Transportation Security finds enough evidence to file criminal charges against screener allegedly involved in a theft at NAIA. Science and Technology Secretary Renato Solidum states that incidents of smog and volcanic fog, also known as VOG, in the Metro Manila and Batangas areas may occur again. The Department of Foreign Affairs backs the Philippine government into looking into the possible filing of a case in an international court on the coral damage in the West Philippine Sea. And United States President Joe Biden announces a further $325 million military aid package to Ukraine as the war approaches its 2-year mark. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, September 22, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harleen Delgado. First in the news. The Department of Justice, or DOJ, will meet with the Office of the Solicitor General next week to discuss the possible case to be filed against China. This is over the environmental damage of corals in the West Philippine Sea. Justice Secretary Crispin Boying Remulla said they will also consult an international environmental law expert. Meanwhile, Remulla refused to comment on the statement by Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning that what is happening now is a political drama.
So that we can discuss the cases that may be filed in relation to the violations of the environmental laws in the West Philippine Sea, and view this as our responsibility to the world.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. led the inauguration of a new plant in Cavite. Also, the chief executive led the distribution of sacks of rice in the said province. Nel Maribohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. led the inauguration of Unilever's newest manufacturing facility in General Trias, Cavite, which he said was one of the fruits of his foreign travels. In his speech, the president said the new facility will generate 5,000 new jobs.
It is also worth mentioning that this plant is one of Unilever's largest personal care facilities in the world, and is expected to generate over 5,000 direct and indirect employment opportunities for our countrymen.
President Marcos met with the officials of the British multinational company Unilever in December 2022 during his visit to Brussels, Belgium, where Unilever committed 4.7 billion pesos worth of investments. The chief executive also led the distribution of 1,200 sacks of rice to Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or 4Ps beneficiaries, and the distribution of assistance from the Department of Agriculture to farmers in General Trias, Cavite. PBBM is seeking to reduce by half the time that importers endure and wait to seek the legitimacy of their shipments from the Bureau of Customs.
At sinusubukan natin ngayon bawasan yung 15 days into 7 days. Dahil kung legal ka na importer, hawak mo lahat ng dokumento eh. Pag hinanap sa iyo yan, bibigay nyo kagad. So bakit pa 15 days?
The 1,200 sacks of rice distributed in Cavite are part of the 42,180 sacks of smuggled rice recently confiscated by BOC Port of Zamboanga. The seized smuggled rice were eventually donated to Department of Social Welfare and Development after the importers failed to comply with the legal documents from the BOC. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez urges concerned agencies to help residents affected by Taal volcanic fog, or VOG. A health advisory has been issued due to potential health risks and harm to environment of the VOG. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
The Department of Health, or DOH, as well as concerned local government units should distribute N95 face masks and other protective equipment to residents affected by Taal volcanic smog, or VOG. House Speaker Martin Romualdez said residents around Taal volcano like Batangas, Cavite, Laguna, and even in Metro Manila should be assisted with this temporary problem. In a statement, the House leader reiterated affected residents should be protected from volcanic dust, gases, and possible respiratory ailments. On Friday, September 22, several local government units and schools have suspended work and classes respectively due to the hazardous volcanic smog from Taal volcano. Speaker Romualdez also appealed to the DOH and LGUs to prepare for possible respiratory issues arising from volcanic smog in the affected areas. If there are available drugs for these ailments, this should be prepositioned already in places where they would be needed, he added. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, also issued a health advisory as VOG can cause potential health risk and harm to the environment. Rosa Licos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Health, or DOH, has recorded at least 50 individuals who fell ill due to the volcanic smog, or VOG, from the Taal volcanic activity. Among them, 45 were from the municipality of Tuy, 4 from Nasugbu, and 1 from Lian in Batangas province. These individuals experienced respiratory distress and were promptly taken to the nearest health facilities. The DOH, through its Health Emergency Management Bureau, has already coordinated with Center for Health Development 4A to facilitate the necessary medical support for the patients. Personnel and logistics are on standby for immediate mobilization. Continuous monitoring and health emergency support are being provided for the affected municipalities. Science and Technology Secretary Renato Solidum has stated that incidents of smog and volcanic fog, also known as VOG, in the Metro Manila and Batangas area may occur again. The official has warned of the hazards it may pose to public health. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
This morning, Metro Manila was covered by smog. According to Department of Science and Technology, or DOST Secretary Renato Solidum, this is the result of thermal inversion where the polluted air was trapped near the ground by colder air.
Yung temperatura po, dapat yung hangin habang tumataas ang altitude, no, papunta sa kalawakan, ay mas malamig. Pero yung malamig na hangin ngayon ay nasa ibabaw lamang. Kaya yung mga smoke, no, at fog, no, ito pong smoke ay dahil po sa mga exhaust ng mga sasakyan, yung pollution, imbes na umangat at ma-disperse, ay hindi umangat dahil nga natutulak ng malamig na hangin pababa. Kaya mapapansin natin, buong Kamaynilaan at karatig na probinsya ay makalimlim, no? Maliban sa cloud sa taas. Yun po ay smog, smoke and fog.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, confirmed that the air pollution is caused by the volume of vehicular traffic during rush hours. Secretary Solidum said that this may happen again until the air pollution problem is solved. Meanwhile, volcanic fog is also being experienced in some areas in Batangas or on the western side of the Taal volcano. Secretary Solidum said that sulfur dioxide being emitted by the volcano is also trapped near the ground. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, is monitoring the SO2 from Taal volcano since its eruption in 2020.
Kapag naranghap niyo po ang asupre, pwede pong masangsang ito, pwede po kayong mahilo, at ang pagdampi po ng hangin na maraming asupre ay acidic, masakit po yan sa balat at minsan ay nangangati. Kung kayo po ay nakalanghap ng asupre, mangangati po ang inyong lalamunan, kaya importante po na uminom kayo ng maraming tubig, papasok kayo sa loob ng mga bahay at saraduhan ng mga bintana at pintuan. At siyempre, dapat ay nakamask pa tayo pag lumalabas.
The official noted that both smog and VOG pose a threat to public health. It is better to stay indoors, but close your windows and doors. Wearing a face mask is advisable if going outdoors. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, The once strong relations between Canada and India have come to an all-time low in recent months, following Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's statement that India might be involved in the killing of Sikh separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. India strongly denies such allegations and swiftly halted the issuance of visas to Canadian citizens, no matter where they are located in the world. The Asian country attributes its decision to the threats being received by their consular offices in Canada. Meanwhile, Canadian visa services remain open in India despite a reduction in diplomatic personnel. India's spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said they are willing to look at any information the Canada government provides to them, but have not received any so far. Prime Minister Trudeau, on the other hand, stated that his disclosure about the connection to the murder was not made lightly and is not an attempt to provoke India. He is mindful of India's growing global importance. However, he emphasized the importance of the rule of law and protecting his countrymen. United States President Joe Biden announces a further $325 million military aid package to Ukraine as the war approaches its 2-year mark. Jane Robles will tell us why.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made his second visit to the United States to discuss with U.S. President Joe Biden and politicians the continuation of their support for the ongoing war against Russia. Biden later approved new $325 million military aid that will include more ammunition, anti-air and anti-tank weapons. He added that the aid's focus is to strengthen Ukraine's air defense over the winter when Russia will likely target hospitals, schools, and power plants. The appeal came after Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki announced that they would limit their aid to Ukraine in order to increase Poland's defense with more modernized weapons. However, during the discussion, Republicans were in doubt about the new package, as Ukraine's counteroffensive has not made any major advancements, with the war nearly reaching its second year. In response, Zelensky admitted that it has been tough for the Ukrainian soldiers, but he believes that they are making slow but steady progress. He also said that the aid is much needed and would result in defeat if not provided. Jane Robles, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Maven. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The Health Department recently issued safety measures to protect individuals from the harmful effects of volcanic fog that is being experienced in some parts of Luzon. Gladys Tuabi has the report.
While Batangas contends with the volcanic smog or fog from Taal volcano, and Metro Manila grapples with the smog due to temperature inversion, the Health Department has issued safety measures for the public to adhere to. Individuals, especially those with comorbidities, are advised to stay indoors and avoid outdoor activities to minimize exposure to fog.
Actually, ang talagang mga vulnerable dito sa mga ganitong klase ng hazard is number one, yung mga bata, yung mga elderly, at saka yung mga may tinatawag tayo mga comorbidities. Ibig sabihin sila na yung talagang may existing na sakit, just like asthma, mga COPD, and other lung problems. So sila yung very vulnerable sa mga ganitong klase ng situation.
It is better to stay indoors and avoid outdoor activities to minimize exposure to fog. Close the doors and windows to prevent fog from entering. If going out cannot be avoided, do not forget to wear a face mask, especially the N95 face mask. But
in a situation na talagang wala silang available na N95, yung mga medical grade na mas malaking tulong na siya talaga. Pwede din naman, it will help somehow yung mga cloth mask, pero hindi kasi natin siya ganun na ina-advise kasi hindi siya medically grade eh. So may
experience symptoms such as difficulty in breathing, seek medical attention at the nearest hospital.
Definitely, the longer the exposure, mas marami kang may inhale, pwede talaga siyang mag-trigger. Pwede kang ubuhin, pwedeng sumakit ang lalamunan mo, and then pwede nang doon mag-umpisa yung lumabas yung sakit mo. Just like yung hika, talagang mahihirapan ka na talaga na huminga. So yun ang mga worst case na pwedeng mangyari. And talagang kung mag-prolong pa, pwede siyang mauwi sa mga tinatawag nating respiratory arrest or pwedeng mag-lead into cardiac arrest.
Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Foreign Affairs is ready to assist in the possible filing of a complaint as the government explores its next plan of action against the coral destruction in the West Philippine Sea. However, China denies the claim, telling the Philippines to stop making political drama. This report will tell us why.
The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, backs the Philippine government in looking into the possible filing of a case in an international court on the coral damage in the West Philippine Sea. In a statement, DFA spokesperson Maria Teresita Daza says they are ready to take part in the efforts of the Office of the Solicitor General in exploring legal actions over the coral destruction in Rizal Reef. The agency also reiterates that states are obliged to protect and preserve the marine environment under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, and as clarified by the 2016 arbitral ruling. However, China dismisses the Philippines' claim, saying that the country's accusations have no factual basis. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning says the Philippines should stop creating a political drama from fiction. She also urges the Philippines to tow away the grounded ship BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal, claiming that it has been polluting and harming the ocean. But for Senator Francis Tolentino, China is trying to evade the issue on illegal coral harvesting in the West Philippine Sea. The lawmaker believes China is undeniably involved in the destruction of corals, as the Escoda Shoal is sort of the guard post going to Ayungin Shoal. For now, the DFA is awaiting the result of the assessment on the environmental damages of corals in the Rizal Reef. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, and the local government of Valenzuela signed a memorandum of agreement earlier today, September 22. This MOA unveils plans for the Metro Manila subway and the north-south commuter railways. The model demonstrated includes the subway depot and an electric-powered model of the tunning boring machine, which will be used for the subway project. The Office for Transportation Security has stated that they have reviewed various closed-circuit television or CCTV footages that may serve as sufficient evidence to file charges against the screener involved in the alleged theft at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Office for Transportation Security, or OTS, has confirmed that they have obtained sufficient evidence to file grave misconduct charges against the screener at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA, who were reportedly seen swallowing alleged stolen money. OTS Administrator Mao Aplaska stated that they have examined various closed-circuit television or CCTV footages at the said airport and have gathered affidavits from other airport personnel which could support the administrative and criminal cases they intend to pursue.
Yung kasing mga video at saka pictures na lumabas, those are not the only evidence that we have gathered. We have gathered several footages from the Manila International Airport CCTV system, together with some affidavit of the members of the screening team at saka yung ibang mga nandun sa airport.
In addition to the 3 OTS personnel previously mentioned in connection with the alleged theft, Yusek Aplaska mentioned that another screener is implicated as an accomplice. There are now a total of 4 personnel involved in the alleged theft, and they have all been placed under preventive suspension. OTS suspects that there may be collusion among OTS personnel to carry out such nefarious acts.
Based on this new development, we are now looking at the possibility of talagang meron silang nagkakonsyabakan sila ng pagka-commit nitong nefarious activities na ito.
Yusek Aplaska noted that this incident of money swallowed by OTS personnel is being reported for the first time. However, they have observed a pattern where reported thefts at NAIA mostly involve departing passengers. This may discourage them from filing reports as it could lead to disruptions in their flight schedules.
We are alarmed because seemingly there's a pattern of discouraging complainants from pursuing the case kasi alam naman po natin na yung mga naging complainants po ay ito yung mga departing passengers.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The first batch of deportation of Pogo workers from SA Rivendell Global Gaming in Pasay, raided by authorities last August 1, has already commenced earlier today, September 22. The said batch comprises a total of 76 people, all of whom are Chinese nationals. They were accompanied by 6 officials from the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOCC, Philippine National Police, and prosecutors until they were transferred to the Chinese government.
Since the Pogo lost its license, these foreign nationals don't have any reason anymore to stay here in the Philippines. Thus, since they have no more working visas, they're all dubbed as undesirable aliens. They are here illegally now.
The Philippines also turned over significant evidence collected against the Pogo workers to China. The Chinese government is responsible for deciding what to do with their citizens once they are repatriated to their own country. Deported foreigners will be prohibited from entering the country for 5 years. However, after this period, they can appeal and file a petition to lift the ban.
This is the first of a series of deportation. Come Wednesday, we would try to deport another 17 Malaysians. Then come Friday next week, we would deport another 60 Chinese.
The Commission on Elections assures to closely monitor the case filed by the United States government against former COMELEC Chairman Andres Bautista over the 2016 national elections. Dante Amento tells us why.
Commission on Elections or COMELEC Chairman George Erwin Garcia considered an eye-opener, a report that former COMELEC Chief Andres Bautista is sued by the United States Department of Homeland Security. Bautista is allegedly accused of receiving bribe from a poll technology company in the 2016 elections to secure the multi-million-dollar contract. In 2016 polls, the Smartmatic was the COMELEC's provider, particularly of the machines. Garcia said there is still a presumption that Bautista is innocent. However, they will closely monitor the case, especially the nature and weight of the evidence to be presented in court. Garcia assures to make the procurement of the machines for the 2025 elections transparent, inclusive, and fair. They will not hide anything from public scrutiny. Meanwhile, Bautista said he was surprised by the complaint filed against him. He is not allegedly asked by the U.S. government to comment. Bautista denied the allegation and that he did not allegedly ask nor receive any bribe money from Smartmatic or any other entity. But he is ready to respond to the charges at the proper forum and time. The Smartmatic, on the other hand, said they adhered to the procurement law and strict control implemented by the COMELEC. Winning a bid in the Philippines is not a decision of one person only, but of collegial body like the COMELEC. They will also cooperate with the authorities. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Former Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA Chairman Bayani Fernando passed away at the age of 77. According to information, it is reported that he fell from the roof of their house and was immediately rushed to Quirino Memorial Hospital. However, he eventually succumbed to his injuries. In a statement, the MMDA conveyed their condolences on the passing of the former chairman of the agency. Bayani Fernando was appointed as the chairman of MMDA from June 5, 2002 to November 25, 2009. Among his legacy are the rapid bus lanes and the Metro Guapo campaign in Metro Manila. He also previously served as the mayor and congressman of the 1st District of Marikina. We at UNTV also extend our condolences to the family of Bayani Fernando.
In other global news, Australia signed the United Nations High Seas Treaty to give a fighting chance to 2/3 of the world's oceans against fishing and pollution, Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong announced on Thursday, 21st September. The UN High Seas Treaty was signed at the UN General Assembly in New York. It is designed to extend environmental protections to oceans along with Australia's Pacific partners. Currently, the Environmental and Water Minister Tanya Plibersek reported that only 1% of the oceans are protected, and she emphasized that the international cooperation to protect oceans is now crucial. The agreement is officially known as the Conservation and Sustainable Use of Marine Biodiversity of Areas Beyond National Jurisdiction. It was reached in March of this year after a 36-hour final negotiation and is expected to be fulfilled as soon as possible. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Maven Carrizo from Perth, Australia. Good evening.
The AFP's lead in the team standings of the UNTV Volleyball League became even more solid after defeating the DFA in their attempt to secure their first victory. On the other hand, the Senate solidified their position in second place. Meanwhile, the judiciary fell short in a heart-stopping match against the PNP. Rina Villamor-Camara reports.
On the first game, the DFA emissaries faced the undefeated AFP Lady Gunners. Although DFA are still winless, they forced to give a great game against the Lady Gunners. Coach Butch Gandarosa remained strong and reminded his team not to quit and to keep the ball alive. AFP provided better services and more attack points. John Bunag helped a lot, especially as she had several consecutive service aces, giving her another Best Player of the Game award. AFP remained to be on top of the team standings after winning in 3 consecutive sets, 19-25, 15-25, and 6-25. On Game 2, the Ombudsman and Senate face off. Ombudsman got 10 errors in the first set alone, while the Senate had 5 to get the start at 14-25. Kat Villegas entered immediately in the second set to raise the tempo of the game of the Lady Defenders, even though their first balls were difficult for them. The Ombudsman has stripped their defense, but the Senate's veteran move still prevailed, 17-25. The Graftbusters failed to dominate against the Senate in the last set, 10-25. Grace Palabrica was chosen Best Player of the game. The last game between the PNP and Judiciary became a close fight as both teams showed good ball saves and rally at the beginning. In the first set, 16 attacks were made by the PNP against 9 attacks by the Judiciary, 20-25. On the second set, PNP's errors increased to 18. Therefore, Justice servers were able to get a lead at some point, but it still failed to get the set at 25-27. Judiciary came strong again in the third set to provide 13 solid attacks and limited their errors to take the set at 25-21. However, on the fourth set, Justice servers drowned with their coverage errors as the Lady Patrollers took the win at 15-25. Watch out for the next game on October 3, 2023, Tuesday. At the Paco Arena, where the judiciary will face the Ombudsman at 1 p.m., AFP going up against PNP at 3 p.m., and Senate fights against the DFA at 5 p.m. Rina Villamor Camera, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God, from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, "For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry. Ye are God's building." And those are the reasons behind the news, September 22, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Hardin Delgado. We serve the people, we give glory to God.